What's going on, people? Phonics. Right to truth.
Yeah. Cool-headed, but I'm too deadly. All the way up to the top where I'm going, nigga, where you headed? King shit, overrule peasants. Don't lose your bitch for 2 seconds. All I gotta do is talk to her for a few seconds, and she'll be trying to give me smooth Beckett. Gooseneck, man, marijuana, get the move ready. Crew reppin' since 9th grade, high school freshman. Young nigga, I was too restless. You guessed it, no cap, it's a new era. Midnight with my last bitch and my last bitch. That's 2 X's, dos X's, 2 N's. I was gone for a few seconds and came home.
What up, y'all? How y'all doing out there, man? Happy Friday, I guess. Yo, man, welcome to Right the Truth. Yo, I appreciate the views. I appreciate the comments. I want y'all to like and support the channel, man. I'm talking about real stuff, man, and yo, this information has to get out, man. There's too much foolishness out there, and there's too many people that's gravitating towards that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about real stuff, man. And you see, I have 4 bozos on the screen right now. I'm having a bad hair day, so you don't need to see me. But let's talk about these bozos, man. And the topic for today is are Democrats enjoying seeing the fall of America, man? I identify with my African heritage strongly. Of course, I would, as many others identify with their heritage. However, I'm a proud American. I was born here. More than likely, I'm gonna die here. I served my country, you know what I'm saying, during 9/11. I'm a taxpayer. I have children here, and I want this place to be the best it can be. As somebody that comes from a big city, it's really unfortunate to see how things are going. And these 4 bozos I have on the screen right now, they're mayors of 4 major cities that are in trouble, man. They don't seem to see it that way, though. They seem to think everything's on the up and up, and their political ambitions are more important than their constituents. And we're seeing this a lot, man. And I believe in a voting process to a certain extent, but I also believe that we need to stop putting in people who aren't doing their job. And we definitely don't need to reelect them. Here we have in the right corner, however you're looking at it, bald head, that's Mayor Eric Adams of New York, my hometown, New York City. I believe to the left is Johnson, funny looking dude. Look at those teeth. Hope he gets those fixed. He's the mayor of Chicago. Bottom left, you have Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C. And you have London Breed, mayor of San Francisco. Fine. But I'm sorry, I got to get on you too. I got to. And these people, they not only do they have a migrant crisis, which is not all their fault, of course, but they have a crime crisis, a real crime crisis, and it's not being attacked in the right way. Now, of course, they have city councils and stuff like that, and county commissions and people that are stopping a lot of it, but a lot of them are in the same party. And this is what I don't understand. And look, I'm not just blaming them. It's a societal problem, and we're going to have to dig deeper into that. And hopefully in this episode, we will dig deeper into that. So just stay with me. I have a couple articles I like to breeze through, and it's just some things that I highlighted. I forgot. I'll get it. It's an opinion article, man. I forgot the website, but Bob Paulson wrote this, and I'll just go through a couple of things. He said too many members of the evil party. He was referring to former Senator Alan Simpson, a Wyoming Republican. That's how he referred to the Democratic Party. He referred to the Republican Party as a stupid party. But he said too many members of the evil party don't want to address the crime issue for fear of offending what they perceive to be their solid base of voters. Do they really believe those committing most heinous crimes actually vote, or that other Democrats condone that behavior? I agree with that. These little assholes and stuff out here in these streets that's doing what they're doing, they're not voters. I seriously doubt that some of their parents are voters. We have people that have said, oh, abolish the police department and there's no need for jails. These people are delusional. They are part of the delusional majority, people. This is who I speak about all the time. They're delusional. They want a society, a lawless society, no law and order. And we're basically seeing that come to fruition in front of our eyes, man, on a daily basis. He also said, what they continue to overlook is that there are thousands of law-abiding urban residents who live every day in fear, hoping that someone would help them take back their neighborhoods from street gangs and drugs. Who is sticking up for them? I agree with that. Look, just because people live in poor environments, that doesn't mean they're not good, decent people. And those that's committing these atrocities against their people, they should be removed. Their families should be removed. This is what I believe. Because I've said this all the time and I'll say it again. These criminals live with somebody. They don't have their own place. They're not paying taxes. They live with somebody. And that somebody knows that when they leave their house or when they come back in their house, they are going to commit a crime and they have came back from committing a crime. And they're condoning it. I'm going to go on. Last week, Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson, a black Democrat, switched political parties, using a Wall Street Journal op-ed to blame his former party's policies for the sub-headline called Exacerbated Crime and Homelessness. Johnson had been reelected in May with 93% of the vote. As CNN noted, Dallas is now the only one of the 10 most populous American cities not run by a Democrat. Delusional. This man was so fed up, and I remember hearing his story. He was so fed up that he switched parties, and I don't blame him. These far-left liberal stances, they're not working for this country. And we will see that come 2024 when Trump is reelected. The Democrats are being embarrassed right now, and rightfully so. Because they're contributing to this fall of the United States. Cleveland City Councilman Mike Polizek is one of the few local politicians who has never been hesitant to criticize others, including Democrats, for being soft on crime. Cleveland City officials admitted an understaffed police department needed help handling a summer crime wave in the city and got it from Governor Mike DeWine and the State Highway Patrol in making arrests and getting illegal guns off the streets. Cleveland.com reported at that time that homicides were up 22% and armed robberies had increased 15% compared to a year earlier. Car thefts had doubled from a year ago. You can't keep police officers. Who wants to be a cop in today's climate? Where you got to worry about ending up like Derek Chauvin? Or who wants to be a cop for 40, 50 grand a year? You got to worry about getting your damn head blown off. Police officers should start no less than 100 grand a year. No less. It's a dangerous job. It's taxing physically and mentally, and they should be compensated for that. They should also have a 5% hazardous duty pay added to their pay. And free life insurance, up to $250,000 for their families in the event that they die in the line of duty. You can't expect people to do this job for peanuts with all the stuff they have to deal with. They have to deal with mental illness. They have to deal with verbal abuse, physical abuse. Because since George Floyd, people seem to think now that cops are nothing. So they can run up on them and disrespect them and talk to them any kind of way and spit on them and stuff like that. And look, no, there's not all good cops, but for the most, those people have a job to do just like us, and they should be respected. Cleveland City Councilman Charles Slife has suggested at a council meeting that state government did not care about Black and brown people dying in our cities. Others blame the increase in gun violence on Republican state lawmakers for passing open carry laws without a license, training, or background checks. Yo, it's not the gun, it's the person behind the gun. And for this councilman to suggest that nobody cares about black and brown people, what he should be asking himself is, why don't black and brown people care about each other? Because they're the ones that's committing these atrocities against each other. Why do they have such hatred and anger and devilishness in them that they can take a life so easily, or fire a gun to harm or maim somebody so easily? I feel urban youths now believe that it is a show of strength to carry guns and to settle disputes and commit crimes using them. I mean, that's been going on. That's nothing new. In August, the CBS TV affiliate in Chicago reported that a youth organization that asked gang members to pledge to have a daily ceasefire between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. so Chicagoans could go about their business without innocently being caught in the crossfire. The organization, Native Sons, was formed in 2022 after the shooting death of a 5-year-old boy. Acknowledging that gun laws are ineffective, they created a document called the People's Ordinance calling for the ceasefire. It's not the gun laws are not effective, it's that the laws to incarcerate these people and keep them incarcerated aren't effective. And why are you pleading with gang members for a ceasefire? No, we need to disarm the gang members and lock them up for a very long time. Just like we have a term, we don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't negotiate with urban terrorists, because that's what you're doing. You're terrorizing your community. There's no negotiation. Yo, we coming through. We taking all the guns. You put up a fight, we're gonna destroy you. That's just the bottom line. This is what has to be done. There has to be more aggressiveness to counter this problem. And it's not to negotiate with a bunch of criminals who are terrorizing their community. They ain't taxpayers anyway. As of last week, the Chicago police reported that more than 1,800 people have been shot this year, with over 440 murders. Shooters were down 13% this year over last, and murders had dropped 11%. But overall, crime was up 29%, with car thefts and robberies leading the way. During an early Sunday evening the last week of August, a 15-year-old was shot and killed at a suburban Columbus outdoor shopping mall. 2 13-year-olds were charged in connection with the killing. This is what I'm saying. You got 13-year-olds out mobbing with a loaded gun, and then they kill another teenager. Where are the parents? We have to start holding these people responsible for these demons that they birthed, and that they're letting out in society with little to no training. These people are angry, and they're on a mission to hurt and kill innocent people. But the Democrats don't lock them up. We don't need jails. This is crazy, man. After school and education programs for preteens, especially from single parent homes, have value. These kids need somewhere to go when the school day ends instead of the streets. However, when someone has evolved to the point where they are willing to shoot you for your vehicle, they are probably beyond rehabilitation. Yo, look, man, we can make all the excuses that we want. When you get out of school, go home and do your homework. Go home and read a book. Go home and study. How are you allowed to go directly from school to the streets? Now, look, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. When I was a teenager, for a period of time, I was doing just that. You know, I was doing just that. And at that time, you know, it should have been more men in the neighborhood to tell us to go home and make us go home. But they didn't do that. And that's really where we're failing the youth. It's the men are failing the youth, because the men are not taking responsibility for their children. I use that term loosely, and for their communities, and they're not protecting it. The only time people want to get an uproar in the community is when the police come, and then they see somebody slammed on the ground, and then they want to pull out their phones and shout and throw things. What about when these gang members is doing the dirt they doing at night? Oh, I ain't seen nothing because I ain't no snitch. When will big city voters finally wake up and stop electing politicians who continue to shift the blame? Violent gun crimes, armed robberies, smash and grab, shoplifting, and car thefts have increased all over the country, and especially cities where criminals have very little fear of retribution because liberal politicians and prosecutors have relaxed crime laws and penalties for committing them. This is just a fact. This is a fact, man. Every time there's a gun crime in this country, oh, we need tougher laws. We need this. We need that. It's not the gun laws or the gun. Again, it's the person behind the gun. Look, you can make gun laws as tough as you want. There are always going to be guns out there, just like there's always going to be drugs out there. We can blame China and Russia or whoever they say is making a fentanyl, wherever it's coming from. But as long as you have people that's willing to sell the drug and people that's willing to take them, you're going to have overdoses. You're going to have this. It starts with the people, man. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, upon taking office in 2022, announced he would not prosecute certain crimes. CNN reported they included marijuana misdemeanors, including selling more than 3 ounces, not paying public transportation fare, trespassing except a 4th-degree stalking charge, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration in certain cases, and prostitution. This is where we came to, man. So why would I be afraid to commit or break a law in New York, knowing all you're going to do is give me a citation or a desk appearance or whatever, and I'm free to go? I ain't going to central booking. I ain't going to the Tombs. I ain't going to Rikers. Because these crimes is considered a smack on the wrist. Earlier this week, Philadelphia's mayor fully condemned the sickening display of opportunistic criminal activity after flash mob-style lootings downtown that followed a judge's dismissal of all charges against a white police officer in the shooting death of a 27-year-old man. A 21-year-old woman with a large following on social media had encouraged and emboldened others, commenting while live streaming as many high-end stores were being looted in the city's central downtown area. 50 people, including her, were arrested, and she was charged with 6 felonies after the night of mayhem, the Philadelphia Inquirer reported. I remember that. I know y'all remember that. Stupid little girl, you know what I'm saying, went downtown to Philly. All these people come to downtown Philly. And see, this is what I'm saying. There's no fear of being locked up. Now, they caught up with that ass, and she was crying like a little baby. Oh, yeah, they caught up with her. But see, this is what I'm saying. And then it's like, when these kids is leaving the home, do the parents, where are you going? I'm going outside. Going outside for what? Who are you going to be with? What are you going to be doing? How are these people coming and going like they're adults? This is the problem. These parents are allowing these kids to be equal to them. How the hell you ain't paying no bills? You ain't doing shit, but you walking in and out my house like almost like you own this place? Nah, sit your ass down. You ain't going nowhere. I guarantee you, if most of the parents would have did that, the show wouldn't have been that large. These young people are just running wild, and they have there's nobody that's disciplining them. The end of the article says, if other big city mayors don't wake up, their poor constituents will not have any place to shop, especially for essentials like groceries and medicine. After incurring huge losses due to theft and other related crimes, many retailers opt to shutter their stores in these high crime areas. It already has happened this year in most of the largest West Coast cities, as well as Chicago, where newly elected mayor, his name is Brandon Johnson, considered opening a municipality-run grocery store to make up for those store closures. Quote, historic disinvestment has led to inequitable access to food retail across Chicago, and these existing inequities have been exacerbated as at least 6 grocery stores closed on the south and west sides over the past 2 years, said a statement from Johnson's office quoted by Fox Business. Okay, why are they closing? People are coming and robbing them. They stealing from them. They looting. They tearing their stores up. So they supposed to keep replenishing their inventory that they're not getting paid for, and keep reopening stores that are getting tore up by these animals in the same neighborhood where they live. So you know what they'll say? I'm gonna tell you what they'll say. Well, we don't own nothing over here. That's their business. You can't even afford to open it. So what? But at least you had a store there. But again, certain people want something for nothing. No, so drop the money in our lap so we can open this. You ain't gonna open nothing. You're gonna go buy a Phantom or something, man. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that, you know, and it's sad because these are people that share the same complexion as me, have to be somewhat intelligent. They got elected to office, and their cities are just out of control. And I'm very disappointed in Eric Adams, because you want to give Diddy the key to the city. You want to take pictures with all the rappers. You at the Hip Hop 50. You got the little area here. You this cool guy and all of this, but you can't even control the city, man. And you was once police. And look, Adams, I feel you. If it's out of your control and you don't have the backing from the city council, why don't you save your political career and step down? Didn't everybody see what Keisha Lance Bottoms did in Atlanta? It was brilliant. During that whole George Floyd thing, she said, you know what? I ain't going to run for re-election. This place is in shambles. The lawlessness, I'm not even going to play myself and run for re-election. But guess what, guys? I'm still fairly young. You'll forget about me. Let me go take this cozy job making about $300-400 grand a year. I'll do that for the next couple of years. I'll come back and run for governor. I'll come back and run for senator. Hell, I'll come back and run for president. That's what she did that was smart. She gracefully bowed out. Brandon Johnson got his job because stupid-ass Lori Lightfoot wouldn't do that. And at 60-something years old, her political career is over. She destroyed it. She should have bowed out. London Breeder and Muriel Bowser are fairly young women. They need to just go ahead and bow out. Let it burn and move on to something else politically in a few years. People will forget. We got a lot going on in this country, in this world. People will forget. And you can resurrect your political career. But what's going on now is just ridiculous. Brandon Johnson, he's clearly in over his head with Chicago. And Muriel Bowser is as well. Somehow all these resources and all. Lock their asses up. If they minors, you need to get their parents and hold them accountable. We are accountable for our children when they're minors. Another article is from The Hill, written by Derek Hunter. I'm going to just jump into it. I got a few brief paragraphs. He says nearly all U.S. major cities are governed by Democrats. Most of them almost exclusively by Democrats for at least 20 years. What are the results? Would you send your kids to the public schools in those places? Would you open a business there? Would you even go there for dinner? If you wanted to destroy once great American cities, what would you do differently from what the Democrats who govern them are doing now? He's absolutely right. And, you know, he's from Detroit, man. And, you know, Democrats have run that city for years. And look at it. It's shameful. It's absolutely shameful what's happened to that city. You talking about a city that used to be bustling, and people came from the South and were able to come here, man, and with their families and own homes and have nice cars and retire and live a good life, man. So now some neighborhoods are like third world cities, man. Real talk. It looks like you're going through Fallujah or something like that, or someplace in Thailand or something like that. Or Africa. You know, just such urban decay. And it's shameful for us to have that in 2023 in the United States. We should not have any city looking like that. We should not have homeless people all over the place in California. And damn it, I forgot your picture, Gavin Newsom. I forgot your picture. But you know you was lying your ass off when you was debating DeSantis. You were lying. And you can't, and yo, you are a professional liar for real. You was cool, calm, and collective, and you did it all with a straight face. California is in trouble. California is in more trouble than any of the other cities I named. Because of the wealth and the star power that's there. All the homeless people, all the crime, the rent prices and the housing prices are astronomical. London Breed would know something about that as mayor of San Francisco in Northern California. She has a severe homeless problem. She has a big time drug problem. A big, not her personally, but community. Shoplifting and robberies. The crime is, many businesses had to leave. And this is why you see a lot of people, not just black people, white people as well, are returning to the South. They're going to Texas. They're going to Florida, where the laws are tougher. They get more for their money. And the Democrats seem to don't care. It's just, oh, well, let the city go up in flames. These are not frivolous, back to the article, or purely ideological questions. For example, in D.C., there were 79 carjackings last month, apparently a monthly record compared to just 8 carjackings in April of 2019. The district council reacted to spiking carjackings by voting to reduce the penalty for carjacking, even doubling down and overriding the mayor's veto. That's crazy, right? So we're going to reduce the penalty. So damn, okay, I steal a car, I'm going to get probation. If I get caught, well, fuck it, I'm back on the street, I steal another one. And you see, they overrided the mayor's veto. This is what I'm telling you. Bowser, Muriel Bowser, get up out of there. Don't destroy your career for them. Because you certainly heading down that track, honey. Don't do it. The latest trend is for even posh downtown areas, such as Chicago's Magnificent Mile, to experience teen takeovers, a new euphemism for senseless riots and looting. Hold on. Oh my God. Attach serious consequences to crime. It turns out that criminals are really, really good at figuring out just how far they can push things without facing consequences. They show their ingenuity every time a big city DA decides to tolerate shoplifting, abolishes sentence enhancements for gun crimes and gang membership, declines to jail chronic bond violators, or fails to press charges even against career criminals accused of violent crimes. Yo, I wanted to go to Chicago, right? I haven't been there in over 20 years. I want to go downtown and go to the museums and all of that. But damn, I can't take my firearm. Their laws is too strict. I can't take my firearm. So I would never put myself in jail. Like, I seen people there over the summer, and they were downtown when they had these flash mobs, and they were beating up people, stepping on cars. Know what I would have did if I was mayor? I'd have went on TV. I'd have said, yo, to any parent right now, if you don't know where your kid's at, if you're assuming that they're downtown involved in this criminal behavior, I suggest you text them or call them and tell them to come home immediately. I'm gonna deploy my police officers to gas the whole damn crowd and start beating ass and locking people up. You have a half an hour. 30 minutes is up. That's what we're doing. Because you now engaging in criminal behavior and you have to be stopped by any means. And that's non-lethal force. Gassing you and busting you upside your kneecaps or something to get, not hitting nobody in the head and giving them brain damage, but taking out your, taking out your legs from up under you, throwing you in a paddy wagon. Hey, if this is what we have to do, this is what we have to do. You want to act like, you're acting like an animal, but you don't want to be treated like one. And this is what I have the problem with. These people act like animals, but they don't want to be treated like one. You don't want to be put in a cage, but you're acting like an animal outside of it. And the rest of us, the public, we're supposed to deal with it. Get these people out of office. Do not reelect these people. We are not with the stance that what the Democratic Party is pushing. I believe in law and order. I believe in the police force. I believe there are good and bad people. I believe in jail and prison. I've told this before on Right to Truth. I got a homeboy right now doing 20 years for murder. You know what I told him? I told him, you deserve to be there, and you should never get out. He laughed, but that's what I told him, and I meant that. You don't sound rehabilitated. Why should you be in a society amongst the rest of us? You can't even keep your nose clean when you're at incarcerated. You doing dirty there. Why do you deserve to be among the rest of us? And look, I have a soft spot for people that's in prison that have changed their life. Go on my channel. You see, I got a video with Starsha and all of that. And yo, there are people that have done their time and deserve to come home. There are people that made mistakes as younger people and who deserve to live life outside of jail. But damn it, if you got to get there first to realize that, then so be it. If you got to go through that process, then so be it. If that makes the streets safer for the rest of us, so be it. But at the end of the day, you parents, you are really, yo, man, a lot of you parents, man, that's all I got to say. And the current spike in crime is occurring amid record vacancies on urban police forces. Chicago reportedly lost 19% of its police force under former Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and the exodus will likely continue under her defunded police successor. Yes. These people are sick, man. This is sick, people. These people are mentally ill. When you don't want to lock criminals up and you think that you can do all of, you can run a major city without police, without having a robust police force. Are you shitting me? Now look, I was watching a documentary one time, and you know Giuliani, he's really destroyed his legacy. Real shameful, man. One time he was called America's mayor, like, you know, linking up with Trump and the stuff that he allegedly did. He really destroyed his legacy. But yo, I can attest to this, living in New York City at the time when he became mayor. Like, yo, he cleaned the streets up. You literally have rappers back then talking about that in songs, how he was locking dudes up. And he explained how he did it. And his whole thing is, yo, we're going to have the officers back. We're going to all work together, and we're going to roll out, and we're going to make it happen. And he did that. And New York was clean. And it didn't have the crime that it experienced in the 80s. Now, unfortunately, that crime wave that it experienced in the 70s and 80s is back now. Now, multiply that with the damn migrants, with these people who are not vetted, who are in our country, and we don't know what they are and who they are. And they're amongst us. These liberal ideas, they're not working, man. And you know what's so sad? Democrats are single-handedly destroying their own party. They don't even see it. They don't even recognize it. That's what's kind of amusing to me. because they're destroying their own party from within and they don't even see it. They're so worried about Trump. They're so worried about the Republicans, this and that. They're so worried about these little small victories. They're not even seeing the biggest victory of all they're about to lose come 2024. And that will be the presidency of the United States of America. Because one Donald J. Trump will be president again. That's a guarantee. That's not that saying I'm something I won or whatever. What I'm saying, I don't technically have a dog in the fight, but I do have a dog in the fight because I want better policies. I want changes. I want to be able to feel comfortable to go back to my hometown, New York City, and walk the streets safely. And not say, damn, I wish I had my gun with me. I want to be able to go to Chicago and enjoy the nightlife there on a nice summer day. You know what I'm saying? A summer evening. You know what I'm saying? Stay at one of their nice hotels downtown and chill out. I want to go to D.C. You know what I'm saying? Then go take a trip and see my family in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the Bay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But this is me and many other people. This is not going to happen because of what they have, the laws and the policies they put in effect. Let me finish this up. Washington, D.C. has lost 2 sworn officers for every new officer it has hired since October 2020, for a net loss of nearly 12% of the entire force during that period. And it stands to reason, who would even consider taking such a stressful, low-paying job in a city where the political class is so eager to throw you under the bus? My point exactly. That's what I've been saying. Since George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, who wants to be a cop when any little thing that happens, you might go to prison. Then you ain't paying me nothing. What they need to be doing in these major cities is tax the fuck out of these sports teams, tax them, and you take that tax and you pay these officers a competitive wage, man. Super competitive. Me personally, I wouldn't think about being a cop for nothing less than 150 grand a year, period. That's coming in the door. Number one, I have the education. Anybody can go to the academy. You need to learn the laws. I know that. I know how to shoot a gun. So, But no, they're not going to do that. I'm going to continue on. As for the educational collapse from which Detroit has never recovered, that is being repeated too, Maryland, where I now live, is ranked as the second most educated state, according to a recent study by WalletHub. Yet its principal city, Baltimore, has 23 public schools where not a single student, not even one in the whole school, tests proficient for math at grade level. Even worse, Baltimore has almost the same number of public schools that just barely missed that list because 1 or 2 of the students attending out of the entire school can do basic math. Wow. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. So then that's the liberal thing, education. Oh, well, they take the funding from this, they take the funding from that. Parents, it's your job. It's your job to make sure your children are educated, not the school system. But many of you are not capable of doing that. And that's what's pathetic. You send them off to school and like, oh, yeah, go to school. You know what I'm saying? You're going to learn, blah, blah, blah. It's your job to ensure that they learn. But how can you do that when a lot of these adults don't have any education? What can they teach their kids? They can't teach them basic math. They can't teach them penmanship, how to sign their name. Ask the average American who were the first 5 presidents and see if they could tell you. Ask the average American who's the governor of their state. It starts with us, man. And these left-leaning policies, they're going to end either way. But you see, this is part of the delusional majority who I speak of. These people are delusional if they think their policies are really working. And all the stuff that's going on in their cities, and it's so damn shameful. And I'm really disappointed because these are so-called people of color. I'm very disappointed in them because you're making us look bad. You're making us look shameful. If you can't put up a fight and get what you want done, leave. Resign the office. Let them put somebody else in. Let them burn them. Don't let them burn you. Don't let them destroy your reputation. Why would you let them destroy your reputation and your career? Your career is worth going down the drain for some liberal idiots? It's not, man. Yo, this is Phonics, man. Yo, like, subscribe, and share, man. Like I told y'all, man, I'm back. I'm back to stay, man. I'm back to keep pushing this. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing with these people are delusional, man. We really live in a delusional society where people think that you don't need law and order and that young people can just run around lawlessly and nothing's going to happen to them. You can, you know what I'm saying, destroy our cities and we're not going to say anything about it. No, we are. And Democratic Party, you've been on notice. I really feel sorry for you guys, man. Feel sorry for you coming next election cycle. It's not gonna look good. Hey man, yo, y'all like, subscribe, and share, man. Thank you for tuning in. Yo, please comment. Like I said, please like. Yo, get me up there in the algorithms, y'all. Share this video, man. Please do that, okay? All right, yo, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.